Welcome back. The details. My name is Nermeen Abdurrahman. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi resumes performing the rituals of Al-Hajj pilgrimage as earlier the head of state arrived at King Abdulaziz International Airport in Jeddah after a short stop at Al-Madinah Al-Munawwara to perform prayers at the Mosque of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This came as more than 1.5 million Muslims pray on Mount Arafat in soaring temperatures in the high point and most grueling day of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. Details follow.
More than 1.5 million Muslims braved extreme heat to reach Mount Arafat on Saturday for the high point of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. Clad in white, worshippers began arriving at dawn for the most grueling day of the annual rites, ascending the rocky 70-meter hill where the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have given his last sermon. After Mount Arafat, pilgrims will head to Muzdalifah, where they will collect pebbles to carry out the symbolic stoning of the devil ritual on Sunday. The Hajj follows the path of the Prophet Muhammad's final pilgrimage about 1,400 years ago. The Saudi kingdom has received more than 1.8 million pilgrims last year for the Hajj, around 90% of whom came from abroad. It also welcomed 13.5 million Muslims who came to perform Umrah pilgrimage, which can be done year-round, and aims to reach 30 million pilgrims in total by 2030. Hajj, one of the world's biggest religious gatherings for Muslims, is increasingly affected by climate change, according to a Saudi study published last month that said regional temperatures were rising 0.4 degrees Celsius each decade. Temperatures were expected to hit 43 degrees Celsius on Saturday, creating challenges for pilgrims who arrived at Mount Arafat after spending the night in a giant-tented city in Mina, a valley outside Mecca, Islam's holiest city.
Head of the National Media Authority, NMA, Hussein Zain, on Saturday extended his congratulations to President Sisi on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. In his cable of greetings, Zain offered his sincere wishes, asking God to complete the comprehensive and sustainable development process to achieve a better future for Egypt and its people. The National Media Authority head also congratulated Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, ministers, senior state officials, wishing them success in their continuous efforts towards modernization and development in various domains and achieving stability under the wise leadership of the President towards a modern democratic republic that meets the aspirations of the Egyptian people. A number of Palestinian citizens were martyred and others were wounded in bombardment by occupation on sporadic areas in Gaza Strip on the 253rd day of Israeli aggression. According to Gaza Health Ministry, Israeli genocide war in Gaza killed more than 37,100 people, mostly women, children and minors. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization decried an escalating health crisis in the occupied West Bank. Details.
A number of Palestinian citizens were killed and others wounded in bombardment by occupation forces on sporadic areas in the Gaza Strip on the 253rd day of the Israeli aggression. Palestinian sources said 19 Palestinians were killed in airstrikes targeting neighborhoods in Gaza City. Israeli occupation artillery also shelled center, east and west of the Palestinian city of Rafah in southern Gaza. Occupation tanks also shelled east of Khan Yunis, southern, the Strip and Zaytun neighborhood east of Gaza City, and demolished residential buildings north of the Nusayrat camp. Israel's genocide war in Gaza has killed more than 37,000 people, according to Gaza's health ministry. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization decried an escalating health crisis in the occupied West Bank, where growing restrictions, violence and attacks on health infrastructure are increasingly obstructing access to care. In a statement, the UN Health Agency said it was calling for the immediate and active protection of civilians and healthcare in the West Bank. It noted that a spike in violence in the West Bank, including in East Jerusalem since the war in Gaza erupted on October 7th, had by June 10th left 521 Palestinians dead, including 126 children. Palestinian officials have put the West Bank death toll even higher, saying at least 545 Palestinians were killed by Israeli troops or settlers since the Gaza war broke out. In addition to the deaths, more than 5,200 people, 800 of them children, have been injured, according to the World Health Organization, that said that this is stressing the only added to the growing burden of the trauma and emergency care at already strained health facilities.
Meanwhile, Hamas movement announced that its fighters targeted an Israeli tractor of the D9 model with Yassin projectile 105 in the Saudi neighborhood west of the Palestinian city of Rafah, south of Gaza Strip. Israeli media reported that at 5 a.m. a missile was launched at an armored Israeli vehicle of 8 Israeli soldiers and officers, which led to its explosion and was set on fire, killing all the troops inside it in an accident in Gaza City described as dangerous and irregular.